Welcome to News and Views, your one-stop shop for everything that's happening in our cities. In this month's Andover segment, we will visit with Dave Carlberg. He's the Community Development Director for Andover, and we're going to be talking about economic development. Todd Haas will also be here today, and he's the Assistant Director of Public Works, and we're going to be talking about the changes in Andover's many beautiful parks. We'll also take a look at this year's Andover Fun Fest, and we'll meet the new fire chief. News and Views will return after a quick break.
Hey, I'm just leaving now. Can you text me the details? Thanks.
Welcome back, and thanks for being here, Dave. Now, your area of expertise is economic development in Andover. Can you give us an overview of what's happened in your city over the past year?
Yeah, we've actually had 3 great commercial projects in the last year. Last fall, of course, we had Christian Brothers Automotive, which is an 8-bay auto repair business that's near the Quick Trip at Bunker and J Street. We had them open in September. In November, we opened up our new Walmart store. That's a 151,000 square foot full grocery Walmart store. Most people remember that's the site of the old Pav's sports bar site, so it's a good redevelopment project for us. And then the third project was actually Pizza Ranch. Pizza Ranch is located just across from Walmart on J Street. That's a 7,000 square foot pizza ranch, brand new, opened in December. So those are the 3 commercial projects that we've had in the last year.
Very good. Any new projects you can tell us about?
Well, actually, just a couple more projects from this last year. We had 2 senior housing residential projects as well. We had Arbor Oaks, which is a 70-unit senior housing project, open up on 155th Lane and Hanson Boulevard. And then just this spring, we opened up Cherrywood of Andover. That's a 20-unit senior housing project just behind Walmart off 139th Lane. So a couple residential projects in addition to the commercial in the last year.
Very good. And what's coming up for Andover?
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple projects. One, we've got Measurement Specialties. That is a company actually out of Ham Lake. They're building a 52,000 square foot light manufacturing facility. Measurement Specialties does sensors in heat and pressure applications. They will be opening in December of this year. They'll bring 100 jobs initially to the city, with another probably 80 to 100 by the end of 2015. And then the other potential project is our local company called Dynamic Sealing Technologies Incorporated, which we refer to as DSTI. We are closing at the end of the year on a 7-acre parcel with them. They plan to build a 100,000 square foot building probably within the next 3 to 5 years. So we've got some interesting projects kind of happening from an industrial commercial perspective.
Now, as an economic development director, your job is to entice businesses to come to Andover. What are the pluses and minuses for businesses?
Yeah, I think, well, the minus for Andover is that we're probably the only community in the 7-county metro area that does not have a state highway system. And transportation corridors are very important to attracting businesses to your community. However, what Andover does have is we have great housing choices, a diversity of housing choices. We have great schools in the Andover area. Our parks and recreation are top in the metro area. We've done quite a bit in preserving open space and buying open space to preserve that for the long future of the residents. So I think even though we have a negative in the transportation aspect of it, we've got a great community to come and move and bring your business.
And then how do you try to entice those businesses to come to Andover?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. One, we're very active in checking out local circulars in the metro area, what businesses are coming to the Twin Cities area, trying to attract them. But we do offer some incentive packages. Many communities have what's called tax-exempt financing and different tools in our chest that we can use, and we will use those if it's the right business. But really, we just kind of promote what Andover is, and hopefully that attracts the business once we make contact.
Very good. Well, we want to thank you for being here with us today and as our guest on News and Views, and we'll keep our viewers posted on what's coming up in Andover. And right now, we would like to meet the new fire chief in Andover. Let's take a look.
Well, I grew up in the city of Coon Rapids, just kitty corner from the fire station in Coon Rapids, station number 2, which is behind the short stop. And if you were in my bedroom and looked out the back window, you would see the firefighters working every day. And I spent a lot of time at the Coon Rapids Fire Station number 2, playing bocce ball and hanging out in the recliners and turning the lights on. And I always joke with them today is that I was a kid that they saw me coming to the station, they closed the door because they knew I was going to ask to turn the lights on and all that good stuff. But the Coon Rapids Fire Department had a big impression on me of the type of work that a firefighter does. And it's a very honorable position. They help people. They have skills that no one else has in the community because no one else can do what we do. So that led me in the direction of really being in the fire service. And certainly serving is what I was born to do. From my country to my state to counties to cities, I've always served, and I was just born to do it. So fortunately for 27 years, it's been a really good ride. The best part of my job today is that I can influence positive change and that I can be an advocate for our on-call volunteers. It is my job to make sure that everybody goes home. And they come here in one piece, they should leave in one piece. And that's something I take very, I take very diligently, and I'm serious about it. Is safety's first. But if you think about the part-time firefighter in our community, people just like you and I who live in the city, driving $500,000 to $1 million trucks, going to calls that are very dangerous, that can change their lives not only physically but emotionally. That takes a special person, and I get to work with those kind of people, which is pretty cool. But it is the ultimate service. I've always said we're the elite team. There's no one else that can do what we do in our community, and it's a really neat place to be, which I'm very proud of and honored to be the chief here at the City of Andover.
Welcome back to News and Views. Thanks for joining us today, and I want to welcome our next guest. It's Todd Haas, and he is the assistant to the Public Works Director for the City of Andover. Thank you, Todd, for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
You know, we're going to talk about parks in Andover. I was recently at Sunshine Park on a Saturday, and I was so impressed because there were baseball games going on, the concession stand was full, there were skateboarders, and it was just really fantastic to see all those people out enjoying the beautiful parks. There's so many in Andover. Tell us what's been happening this summer.
Well, we've got a couple of parks going on. The first one is Langseth Park, which is located up in the north central part of Andover, about 174th and Round Lake Boulevard. It was an old playground structure, had been there for quite a few years. It doesn't meet the handicap requirements, so the structure needed to be removed and replaced. We spent some time with the neighborhood and allowed the neighborhood to pick the equipment based on the budget that was presented by the Park Commission. And that equipment now has been installed. One other thing that we are looking at is installing a trail system from the north, because currently the neighborhood to the north links that really doesn't have a good access to get to the park. So we're going to work with the neighbors and see if we can obtain an easement.
How about Rose Park in
Rose
Andover?
Park, yes. Rose Park is one of our kind of a little bit bigger park. It's located behind the Andover Downtown Center. If you know where the water tower is, we call it Water Tower number 1. Just to the northeast of Round Lake Boulevard and Bunker Lake Boulevard. Currently it has one ball field there that's been used by the associations in the past. Due to one of the parks that we lost the ball field, we are looking at redoing Rose Park with 2 new ball fields with fencing, grass infields, and irrigation, which is, the associations just absolutely love it when we irrigate their fields. So construction on that is planned and about the end of August, probably take a couple months, and most likely won't be usable until late next fall.
Okay, how about Prairie North Park?
Prairie Knoll Park, located just to the north of the intersection of Andover Boulevard and Prairie Road at about 146 Lane. The city's reconstructing an existing parking lot that was gravel for quite a few years. We've had some issues over there with the gravel washing into the playground structure and then washing the chips away from the playground structure. Of course, that's a maintenance issue for our public works maintenance guys, so we're looking at installing curb and gutter and blacktop and storm sewer, and that will be ready for the Andover Football Jamboree, which is scheduled about August 23rd.
Very good. And how about the Andover Lions Park? What's happening there?
Andover Lions Park is located just to the east of Bunker Lake Boulevard and the Burlington Northern Railroad tracks on the north side. We were looking at replacing some of the pieces of the equipment, but it's been determined the equipment needs to come down and replace. So we're going to work with the neighborhood this fall and winter and have them select a new structure for next year. We are looking at installing a elliptical and a stationary bike with a pull-up bar within the next month for the residents to enjoy. There's a trail that, kind of a major trail, it's one of our regional trails that was constructed quite a few years ago that goes right by the park. So we're hoping some of the people that go by the park try the equipment out, the new elliptical and the stationary bike, just to see if they like it.
Very good. Now, is there anything that people in the public can do to help people in the public works do their job better?
Yep, absolutely. We do have an Adopt a Park program that's available for neighborhoods, also for associations, other groups like Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, or just any other kind of group. That's available. They just need to contact me. We'll get them an application, give them an opportunity to pick which park is available, and we'll put a sign up, and it's a 2 or 4 year program. So other things that we can do, we certainly would appreciate if people see anything going on in the park, anything suspicious, feel free to contact the Sheriff's Department and they will send somebody out to check it out.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Todd.
You bet.
Really appreciate it. We'll keep track on those parks and we will check back with you on that. We are now going to take a look at Fun Fest, which recently happened in Andover. Let's take a look.
Andover 19th Annual Family Fun Fest was July 11th and 12th. It was another fantastic event. There were many things for all ages to do and eat. Andover wants to thank everyone who came out to enjoy the party. QCTV was at Andover's Family Fun Fest covering the parade. The Family Fun Fest 5K run had 185 people who ran. Ages ranged from 6 to 70 years old. On Saturday the 12th, the craft show had over 60 vendors in attendance. Andover wants to thank all the amazing volunteers on their countless hours to pull off a great 2-day event. Thank you for coming this year. See you again next year for Andover's Family Fun Fest's 20th anniversary. For more information on Andover's Family Fun Fest, go to the City of Andover's website and click Family Fun Fest tab at the top of their homepage.
Yes, I am. Give it to him hard. No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to News and Views. I'm Noah Johnson, and I'll be your host for the Anoka portion of the show. This month in Anoka, we'll talk to Eric Thorvig. He's the Economic Development Manager for Anoka and will be giving us an update on the Rum River Shores project. Also with us is Anoka's Public Services Director, Greg Lee. He will talk to us about Kings Island and the completion of a trail project there. We will get to all of that when News and Views returns, so stay tuned. Welcome back to News and Views. I'm joined by Greg Lee, the Public Services Director for Anoka. Thanks for coming to the show, Greg.
Thank you for having me.
So we're just going to talk about a couple things that are going on in Anoka. We're going to touch on the Mississippi River Trail project that's going on over by Kings Island, as well as the channel restoration project. So first of all, could you talk a little bit about the Mississippi Trail project and what that's all about?
Yes, the Mississippi Trail project is a project that we're going to be moving forward with this fall. Actually, in 2 weeks, the contractor should be starting on that project. What this project is a trail connection from Mississippi Community Park in Anoka, going 2 miles to the west to connect into the Mississippi West Regional Park in Ramsey. This was a collaborative effort between the city of Anoka and the city of Ramsey, as well as Anoka County was joining in financially to support this project. The project includes a 10-foot wide bituminous trail to make that connection, and then there's going to be 2 bridges as it crosses over Kings Island.
Okay, so you mentioned a little bit about the funding. How is a project like this funded, and is it hard to get the funding for a project like this?
Yes, that was one of the difficult things is with several different government agencies involved and also seeking grants for this project. It took some time to put this project together. The city of Ramsey applied for a federal transportation enhancement grant, and we were successful in getting that grant, and so that was seed money to get this project going. But the city of Anoka, as well as the city of Ramsey, contributed fairly significantly to this project, as well as Anoka County will be contributing funds to this project.
So the second project that's going on that you're kind of involved in is the channel restoration. Could you touch a little bit on that?
Yeah, that's another project that will be enhancing the Kings Island area. This channel restoration project was a project to restore the channel that goes around Kings Island, basically establishing Kings Island. Over the years, there's been some land bridges that were installed onto the island that restricted the flow, and after that there's some debris and stuff that has accumulated into the channel, and so the city of Anoka applied for a DNR grant to restore that channel, and we were successful in getting that grant. And that project started last year as far as excavating out the channel, and was essentially completed by this spring. There's some final restoration work that needs to occur yet this fall. The river levels came up this spring, and the contractor wasn't able to finish with the restoration part. But overall, the project is an environmental project to restore the channel back to the way it originally was, and to promote fish habitat and other habitat for other animals.
Well, that sounds great. So back to the trail, what kind of timeline are you guys looking at for that being completed?
We're looking at, again, I mentioned the contractor will be starting in 2 weeks, and we're hoping that it'll be substantially complete by this fall.
Okay.
So the contractor, once they come on site, will be hitting the project pretty hard, and there'll be a lot of activity going on, and the time frame is a little tight this fall. We had to wait until the river levels came down from this spring, but the contractor feels confident that he'll be able to have it substantially complete by this fall.
Well, that's great. We always need bike trails to enjoy the great outdoors here in Minnesota. So when it comes to projects like these, how does the city and the county work together for something like this?
Well, basically, we get together and talk about our goals and what our objectives are, and we come to an understanding, and we end up entering into a joint powers agreement on how we will participate in a project like this, both financially and just administrating a project like this. And that's what we did with the city of Anoka, the city of Ramsey, as well as Anoka County.
Thanks again for being here, Greg. We will definitely continue to keep our viewers informed about these projects. And now we're going to take a look at a fun music video that QCTV's own Chris Carpenter put together with some Anoka residents out and about having some fun in the community.
group of men and women 238 years ago who signed the Declaration of Independence did not know that we would still be carrying on a tradition of celebrating America's independence. The City of Anoka sponsors free root beer floats available at the building during the concert. And now we'd like to begin the North Suburban Concert Band here for more than 25 years in this very park. We'd like you to please rise for our national anthem.
Welcome back to News and Views. Joining me now is Eric Thorvig, the Economic Development Manager for the City of Anoka. Thanks for being here, Eric.
Thank you, Noah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the Rum River Shores project that you're involved with. Could you give us a little bit of a background of that?
Yeah, the Rum River Shores project is our first major single-family subdivision since the early 1990s, so it's exciting for the city to see this happening. It consists of 44 single-family homes, and it's generally located just north of County Road 116 by the Anoka Nature Preserve, the Rum River, Anoka County Library, and Anoka High School.
Excellent. So what kind of timeline are you guys looking at this project, and is phase one complete?
Mm-hmm. Phase one is under construction. There are 25 homes currently being built out of the 44. And with a single family subdivision, there's a lot of things that go on that a developer does. They build all of the roads that are related to the project, all of the utilities underground. There's a lot of stormwater ponding. This site is very unique in that it has a very neat water feature when you enter the development, so that's pretty neat if you drive up there. There's an intersection project that the city is taking part in at County Road 116, which will serve this development, but then also the high school to the south, and that'll be wrapped up at the end of this summer. There's a project that the city did with the developer as far as a bank stabilization on the Rum River. The bank along the Rum River was sloughing into the river, so we wanted to stabilize that, so the developer went in and graded the project and revegetated it and put a trail. There's some other internal trails to the development, so a lot of things going on up there, and as the 2014 construction season wraps up, we'll see more things being done with the development.
Excellent. So who are the builders that are involved in this project?
The builders are all local, which is pretty unique. A lot of the other communities have these national builders come in, but the builders are Regency Homes, Dingman Construction, Hanson Builders, and Jonathan Homes.
Does Anoka try to keep the building local a lot of the time, or is this kind of unique?
It is unique. It's nice to keep the business in the area. Mm-hmm. The builders grew up in Anoka, a lot of them, so they know the area and they take a lot of passion, which is good for the project.
Yeah, that's great. Give local businesses some work.
Yep.
What are the price ranges for this project?
Price ranges are a little bit unique, and when the city was looking to develop this land, we wanted to get what we call move-up housing. And that's generally attracting those families that are looking for a little bit more expensive, a little bit larger home, which we don't have a lot of in Anoka. We wanted to diversify our housing stock, so we were hoping that a family would buy their first home in Anoka, and as they grew a little bit, they could stay in Anoka, and that's what this housing development offers. But the price ranges are generally from $400,000 to the upper $700,000.
Okay. Sounds like a nice place. So could you talk a little bit more about the timeline moving into phase two of the project? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the success of phase one, the developer is starting to look at a phase two. And the city has 44 acres just on the east side of the Anoka County Library at County Road 116 and County Road 7. And the developer is looking at the north 30 acres of that for a phase two, which would consist of 62 homes. And they're actually going before our city council here in August for approvals. And if things do get approved, the developer hasn't decided whether they're going to start this fall or next spring. But that'll all depend on home sales and where the market is. And what the city is also looking to do is keep 14 acres on the corner. So with this development and the commercial development, that should wrap up everything that the city has planned up in that corner.
Excellent. So if people are interested in this and they want some more information, where do they get that information?
The project does have a website, and it's www.rumrivershores.com.
Okay.
And they have a site map on there which shows which lots are available, which lots are sold, and the price ranges. And then also, if you're a casual home buyer, they are located on the MLS for the homes that are built and for sale.
Excellent. Well, this does sound like a great project. Again, it's nice to keep things in the area. So I just want to thank you for being here on the show with us today, and we'll definitely keep our viewers informed as things move forward. So Anoka Riverfest recently happened, and Chris Carpenter was out there to gather some of the sights and sounds.
We're here in downtown Anoka for the annual Riverfest and Craft Fair. The weather has been a little murky, but the people still came out and had a great time checking out live music, trying some different types of foods, and checking out what some of the vendors had to offer.
Hi, I'm Pete Turok, President of the Anoka Area Chamber of Commerce, and this is the 2014 Anoka Riverfest and Craft Fair. If you were here, you know what happened. And what happened was we had a ton of people here, incredible crafts, great food court. In fact, I just had one of the wontons from one of our brand new food vendors. And if you weren't here, you should have been. And you can be, just mark down the second Saturday in July. It's every year, so 2015. But I'll tell you what, tons of volunteers played in this. And today is all about Anoka, and it's all about the region. It's about bringing people from not only our area, but also the metropolitan area and beyond. And they're here because I've talked to a bunch of them. Come to Anoka, experience this area, and then come back. So it's not about today, it's about the 364 days after today. So again, thank you to the City of Anoka, all of our volunteers, and all of you that participated and took part in the 2014 Anoka Riverfest and Craft Fair. We look forward to 2015 show.
This one's for you.
The 2014 Anoka Riverfest and Craft Fair was well attended. Despite the weather, a lot of people came out and had a very good time. If you missed this year's event, make sure to make it out to next year's. It's every summer, the second weekend of July, Anoka Riverfest and Craft Fair. Make sure to bring out the family next year.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome to the Champlin segment of News and Views. I'm your host, Corey Lang. This month in Champlin, we are going to chat with the Parks and Facilities Manager, Charlie Lane, and we'll be talking about the newly designed Andrews Park. Also, Parks and Recreation Manager Alicia Yankee is here to talk about the upcoming Dinner and a Movie event. The Champlin Farmers Market is in full bloom, so we'll take a quick peek at that, as well as the brand new splash pad at Andrews Park. News and Views will return after a quick break.
Well, we're out at Andrews Park and today is Safety Camp Day. It's an all-day camp running from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. where kids have the opportunity to come and have a whole bunch of mini sessions on a variety of safety topics. So we've got the police department presenting behind me. Today we're also joined by the BCA, which is the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, and they're going to do some internet safety for kids. We've got a representative from the National Weather Service here, and they're going to be talking about severe weather and things to do and to watch for in some of those instances. If you're watching this and you think this looks like an awesome opportunity for your child, it does get published in our summer brochure every year, which comes out in April, and you can register just for Safety Camp, which is typically right around $25 give or take, and the day does include lunch. Or if you participate in our summer playground programs, there's usually a reduced fee. You'll have to check it out for details next year. Watch the summer brochure in April.
Welcome back. My first guest today is Parks and Facility Manager Charlie Lane. Thanks for being here today, Charlie.
Thanks, Corey, for having me.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good, good.
Enjoying the weather.
All right, that's good to hear. So we're here to talk about the renovations at Andrews Park. So tell me a little bit about that and what the future holds for Phase 3.
Sure, Corey. The Phase 2, as you may know, is complete now. After June 25th, we had the ribbon cutting ceremony. And from that point, rentals through the park and rec office have been really steady. We've rented the picnic shelter quite a bit. The shade shelter is now operational. The splash pad, it seems like it's a hit with everyone. The concession stand's open now, and Phase 2 seems to be all what's cracked up to be. So we're happy. Things have kind of taken off that way. And now again, like you mentioned, we're gearing up for Phase 3. Phase 3 is going to kind of consist of the east side of the park. We're actually taking the softball complex and trying to renovate what's existing, making new dugouts, new asphalted trails out there. The big item at that particular end of the park will be a large concession stand. There'll also be a smaller picnic pavilion and a lot of different utility work that goes along with the fences, bringing water in from the park, and just kind of upgrading the amenities to what we hope will make a nice softball complex, a premier softball complex. If plans follow through, we'd like to have a vendor out there that serves alcohol to the various softball teams throughout the park system. That'll be kind of contained within that wheel, the 4 large fields that are out there, so to speak, and offer that to various softball clubs and teams throughout the Twin Cities. And hopefully that will be complete the spring of 2015. That's the game plan. Construction starts August 17th of 2014, so we're about 3.5 weeks away from nearing the start of that. With that, there'll be some gate modifications and a lot of the concrete and asphalt work that'll take place this fall. And the remainder will be happening during the winter, just like Phase 2.
Cool, awesome, fantastic. Well, I had a chance to go out there and check out the splash pad myself, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's kids running through the water, having a blast. Concessions were busy. Has it been pretty busy lately at the splash pad?
It seems like it's been very busy. It's like a lot of other things. It's weather dependent. On a cool day, the water's very cool because it's not heated. It's circulated, and the splash pad seems to go well throughout the community, and we also have non-residents that have been using it as well. So I think the word's getting out there. It seems very busy on a nice, hot, warm day. The cooler days, people are a little reserved to get into that cooler water.
Sure, perfect. Absolutely. Well, we encourage people to go check out the splash pad. It's a great place to check out. And
I'll mention that there's a hotline out there that we try to keep updated as to the hours that the splash pad's open or if it's closed due to inclement weather, colder temperatures. And we hope to stay open at least through Labor Day. That's the initial plan now. The hours on Labor Day may be shortened somewhat like we did for the July 4th holiday weekend, but that's just to kind of inform the public that that's our intent at this point.
Sure, perfect. So. Fantastic. Well, thanks for being here
Thanks
today,
again,
Charlie.
Corey. Appreciate having me.
Yep. Excellent. Well, now we're going to take a quick peek at that splash pad at Andrews Park.
Looking for a fun, refreshing getaway with your kids or family? Well, why not head on over to Andrews Park and check out the new splash pad. As you can see behind me, it's a real hit.
This is the first year that it'll be open, and it opened in June here. And it's just a free place where kids around the community can come and swim.
On June 25th, the City of Champlin, with the help of public participation, celebrated the ribbon cutting for the renovations at Andrews Park. One of the larger features of the park is the splash pad that is now open for your enjoyment. As part of the ribbon cutting celebration, cake was served, raffles were held for prizes, and Champlin's Mayor Armin Nelson was there to say a few words to kick off the festivities. To experience all the new features at Andrews Park, we encourage you to stop by and check it out. And stay tuned to QCTV for extensive coverage as the city moves forward with Phase 3 of the park renovations.
I like this square pass, it's so awesome. Look at the water, it was square people. And don't forget the water gun.
You get to play, and there's very things I liked about, and it's very fun. The first time I came here with my cousin, it was very fun because you get to get wet, and there's like toys, and there's things that you can go under and get wet, and sprinklers.
It looks fun, and I haven't tried it yet, but it should be fun, and I'm meeting my friend here.
It's a great place. Come enjoy the sun. It's cold water. It's a good time.
Welcome back. Joining us now is Parks and Recreation Manager Alicia Yankee. Welcome, Alicia. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me today, Corey.
Thanks for being here. So tell us a little bit about the upcoming dinner and a movie.
Well, you're right. It's upcoming. It's going to be Friday night, August 15th, so not too far around the corner. Mark your calendar. Personally, I'm excited. This is one of my favorite events of the summer. It kind of wraps up the whole summer and all of our festivities and activities. And as the title sounds, or Dinner and a Movie, that's exactly what it is. We've got Broadway Pizza on site, and they will be serving up their pizza from Broadway. I think you can buy it by the slice or by the pie. And then the movie this year will be Despicable Me 2. And a new thing that we've got this year is we have added some activities on the front end. Usually, you know, we start with pizza around 6 p.m. and the movie doesn't really get rolling until dusk, which is about 8:40. And we've got all these little ones who are super excited, and they've come out to see this kind of like a walk-in movie. And they don't make it because it's their bedtime. So they leave over mom and dad's shoulder, or they're sleeping on the blanket. So we're excited this year on the front end from about 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to be offering some carnival games and some inflatable slides. We'll have a couple face painters out there, and most of those activities are, well, they do cost. There is a minimal fee or a nominal fee. Tickets will be $0.25, and most things will be 1 to 4 tickets. So like the carnival games will just be 1 ticket. So you can come out and probably spend about $5 or $6 and entertain, you know, a couple kids for the evening. And then in addition to the pizza, the Park and Rec staff will also be selling popcorn and some different movie treats. So, you know, if you're of my generation and you remember drive-ins, this is just kind of a new twist.
Perfect. Fantastic. Well, we're all looking forward to Dinner and Movie. We've been covering it for years. We encourage everybody to check it out. It's a great event. And yeah, thanks for being here today, Alicia. It was great catching up with you, and we're all excited. So now we're going to take a quick peek at the Champlin Farmers Market.
Every year they're becoming more and more popular, and they're popping up everywhere. The Farmers Market. Today we're at Champlin to talk to a few vendors.
I just enjoy bringing in fresh food to people, especially in markets where I know it's a little bit more difficult for them to get at that fresh food. I just enjoy meeting the people, and I'm really thrilled, especially at Champlin, to see the number of young kids that are coming in here with their parents. It's quite an experience for them, plus they get to see the good new fresh produce that's available. Hopefully they're eating it too.
I think it's great. I started 10 years ago and you hardly heard about it. Now it's been in the news and with all the publicity, and people are interested in it, and it's been great. Yeah, I think it's good.
I do barbecue sauce and chicken wing sauce. They're all natural, no salt, no high fructose corn syrup, so they're as healthy as they can be My trifold flyer I have and online has a lot of recipes. There's a really good pasta chicken, salad, pizza, dip, meatloaf, and you can interchange any of the sauces, but most of them are geared for the Ghostly Goodness sauce. BaronsBarbecueSauce.com, and you'll be able to find all the information there. It has product descriptions, recipes, store locations.
I love the farmers markets. I would just love the different people. You get to talk to people, interact with a bunch of different people, and tell them how good our bread is. We have a monster cookie every day, which is a oat peanut butter base with M&Ms, chocolate chips, and butterscotch chips, and it's actually my favorite cookie as well. So even though it's gluten-free, it's still really good. And we also have a gluten-free bread on Tuesdays. Our store is in Maple Grove on 94 in Weaver Lake, right by the JCPenney, and every Tuesday we make it. So we have you can call ahead of time to reserve a loaf, or just go in. Usually we have some every Tuesday.
We have a lot of stuff. We have zucchini, cabbage, lettuce, cucumber, peas, beans. Corn is coming, tomatoes is coming, some other squash is coming.
Every Wednesday through October 8th, please join me at the Champlin Farmers Market from 9 to 1 and pick up something fresh and delicious.
Hi, and welcome to the Ramsey portion of News and Views. I'm your host, Matt Overstreet. This month in Ramsey, we're going to speak with Ramsey City Administrator Kurt Ulrich, where he'll let us know all about the Draw Summer Event Series, as well as future plans for the former Ramsey Municipal Center. After that, we'll talk to Ramsey Assistant City Administrator Patrick Brema, and he'll give us some information about the upcoming Happy Days. News and Views will return after a quick break.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, and welcome back to News and Views. Joining me today is Ramsey City Administrator Kurt Ulrich. Kurt, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Matt. Great to be here.
Thank you. And how is the city of Ramsey? How's the summer been?
It's been a wonderful summer in the city of Ramsey.
Yeah?
The weather has cooperated. We've had a number of concerts in our local park, and it's been a good year so far, and business is picking up.
And that's been at the Draw?
The Draw, yes. Concerts are at the Draw. That's our main event center for the summer concert series that we have every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. For the whole summer. We have 11 different events through Happy Days, our annual festival, which happens the first week in September.
Great. And what has been the reaction to this event? And have you had a lot of people attending?
It's steadily been increasing in attendance. This is, I believe, our third or fourth year of holding concerts. We had July 10th was one of our peak. I think probably our most attended event was on July 10th. That was a killer hayseeds, and they drew in about 450 people.
Wow.
Which is really a nice attendance. The Lions sponsored that night and had beer there, and it was really a nice community event.
And this is a free event, is that right?
It is free to all participants. We usually have a vendor there with some concessions, and alcohol is allowed in the park, so people are allowed to bring a cooler full of beer or that type of thing, or soft drinks, and bring their own food if they'd like. And so it's very open to the public, and we encourage people to bring themselves, their kids, their pets. It's just been a nice community gathering spot.
Now, because it's a free event, are you looking for sponsors for it? Or?
Well, for this year we have the season all planned out. We gather sponsors throughout the year, starting probably as soon as this season is over. So if people want to sign up for next year to sponsor a concert series, those opportunities are open. It's a great chance to get the business name out there and to let people know that they're doing something for the community.
That's great.
Yeah.
And QCTV is going to be bringing our production truck in the very near future and covering the Rubber Soul concert. So our viewers can look forward to that. So to change topics just a little bit, can you talk some about the former municipal building and what some plans could be for the future use of that?
Yes, that's a great question. Our former municipal building is located on County Road 5, also known as Now Then Boulevard. It's been used as our fire station, our second fire station in the city. There's 2 buildings on the site. One was a former police station. The other were the administrative offices and the fire station. We still use the fire station portion as an active fire station currently. But in total, there's about almost 20 acres on that site. And we've been through the last year or so, we've been through a community planning process where we've brought in some of the neighbors and some other interested folks from the community to try to help us plan what we should be doing on that site. And recently the council, after hearing all the input from this committee, decided that the single-family residential option was the best option for that land. It fit best into the neighborhood and best into our long-range comprehensive plan. And so we're going to be pursuing putting the land on the market as a single-family residential. We will be looking at relocating the fire station from that site to an adjacent site, and all of that will happen within the next year.
Outstanding. Now, of course, you and I both know that Ramsey is a wonderful place to live and work and have our businesses, but could you talk a little bit maybe to our viewers about why it is?
Certainly, I'd be happy to. It's a city located on some great transportation routes. We've got Highway 10, Minnesota Trunk Highway 47 going through the community. It's located next to some wonderful natural resources. The fisheries of both the Rum River and the canoeing and snowmobiling on the Rum River are phenomenal. Mississippi River, of course, adds some wonderful recreational opportunities. We have a boat landing on the Mississippi River and also access to the Rum River from several city parks. It's just been a wonderful place to have a business or to locate a family. It's in the Anoka-Hennepin School District for the most part. A portion is in the Elk River District. Have a couple wonderful golf courses, Rum River Hills and North Fork. Some great recreational opportunities.
That sounds great.
Yep, and not just, it's, we have some urban, pretty tightly built lots, but we also have a wide variety of rural, more country type lots where people can have horses and wide open spaces, whatever. We have something for everybody, including apartments next to our rail station or in downtown urban core area.
Thanks again for being with us today, Kurt.
Certainly, Matt, my pleasure.
And we look forward to covering more stories in Ramsey in the future. In fact, coming up, we have a story from QCTV's own Noah Johnson presenting Ramsey Safety Camp.
We're outside of the Lord of Life Church in Ramsey, where the city is holding their annual safety camp. As you can see, it's lunchtime, so we caught up with Chandra Cryer to find out some more information.
Well, our purpose for having safety camp is to teach kids how to be more safe in their everyday life. And the main goal is to prevent unintentional injuries, because that's what really hurts our kids and kills them. So the target areas that we talk about are the ones that they are most at risk from. So along with learning these great skills, they get to have a lot of fun with it as well. So they build relationships with other kids that they do or don't know. And along the way, they get to spend some time with some really great counselors, which they later find out that they are firefighters and police officers and paramedics. So it's a really good experience for them.
Safety Camp is a great resource for kids and their parents. The kids had a fun-filled couple of days at this year's camp. Chandra filled us in on some of the activities that they got to do.
Well, what we worked on today was a couple of really fun things. We did the escape house with the fire department. So what it does is it simulates kids being in a home where the smoke alarms are going off, and it gives them an opportunity to talk with the campers and lead them logically through the process of what do I do now. They talk about having an escape plan and where they should meet their family, how to get out of the house the safest way, and also how to get out of windows, which is important to do. We also covered first aid and brain injuries, and then along with that the kids were given a free bike helmet that was properly fitted for them, and we talked about how to wear it and when to wear it and all of those good things.
If your kids haven't been to safety camp before, come check it out next year. They will learn a lot about how to be safer. I know I sure did.
Hi, and welcome back to News and Views. Joining me now is Ramsey's Assistant City Administrator, Pat Brama. Pat, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having us.
And how is it going with your end in Ramsey?
Things are going great. We're having a busy summer, staying warm and wet.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, and so upcoming, we have Happy Days is coming up pretty soon in Ramsey. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what people can expect?
Sure, absolutely. Happy Days is on Saturday, September 6th. Events start at 8:30 a.m. and run until about 11 p.m. Happy Days takes place in the core, which is Ramsey's downtown development, located right off of Highway 10. Events really range from children events to concerts and fireworks at night, expos, parade, really you name it, we have it at Happy Days. We're looking forward to a great year.
Outstanding. Is there anything we can look forward to that's new this year?
New this year, yeah, absolutely. We have new events every single year. This year we have the Beanbag Tournament hosted by a fitness club in our downtown. Also we have a kids talent stage hosted by Northern Light Church. And then lastly we have an Alina Medical Clinic wellness van that will be on site as well.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
And how has the turnout been?
Turnout's been great, actually. The last few years we've really seen a surge in people that have shown up to Happy Days, and it continues to grow in popularity, and there's a lot of buzz around the event. We're definitely looking forward to an even bigger year this year.
So it's been growing?
Absolutely.
That sounds outstanding. Are you looking for sponsors or volunteers for the event?
Yes, yeah, that's a kind of a constant need for Happy Days or really any hometown event. And in our case, yes, we are looking for volunteers, sponsors. Anybody that is interested can contact the administration department at the City of Ramsey or the Happy Days Committee. But we have need for volunteers the day of the event, before the events, and sponsors for various events as well.
And I heard that there may be a possibility of a name change for the event in the coming future. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely, great question. Yeah, Happy Days comes with two different thoughts of what it should be called. And some people are old school and they really like the name Happy Days. They really enjoy that it's out there and that it's different and it's not normal compared to other festivals. So there's a lot of people that like the way the Happy Days is named now, but there's also a lot of people that would like to see the name changed. And so that's what you're seeing here is that we actually are looking at potentially changing the name, and the Happy Days Committee is going to be looking at this year at a potential name change this year. And so first, before they want to do that, they want to get input from the public. And so at the Happy Days events, they'll be taking input, and then we'll also be taking written input directly to City Hall as well. So residents are welcome to provide their opinions if they like.
Well, we'll look forward to hearing more about that as that story progresses. If people want a little more information about Happy Days, where can they go to find that?
Information is available in multiple locations. The best spot is probably the City of Ramsey's website, cityoframsey.com/events. And there's a link for Happy Days, and we have a web page completely dedicated to Happy Days with all the information you could ever need on the events, the specific sub-events, schedules, Happy Days information, anything you need. Also, you can contact the City of Ramsey directly, our administration department, or again, the Happy Days Committee.
Outstanding. Now, I know we've talked a lot about Happy Days, but are there any other events that you'd like to let us know about?
Man, there's lots of events in Ramsey. Previously on the show, Administrator Ulrich had discussed the Draw Event Series, which is a popular event that runs from June through the fall in our downtown as well. That's an event series that covers various concerts, and there's a farmer's market that's included with that as well. We have a safety camp that takes place. We have a couple of recycling events. Again, all those events are listed on our webpage, cityoframsey.com/events. There's a list of probably 10+ events that the city's involved with.
Thank you, Patrick. And we want to let our viewers know that QCTV will have a production van and will be covering the upcoming parade, which is at 3 p.m. So thanks again, Patrick. We appreciate you being with us today. Coming up, we're going to learn about an organization called Second Chance Youth Ranch. Noah and Carson Johnson from QCTV were recently there and filmed the event. Let's take a look.
Second Chance Youth Ranch is located in Ramsey. It was founded back in 2011, and I got a chance to talk to the founder, Robin Fitzgerald, to get some background information.
I had horses my whole life, and my plan was to grow up and show them and compete with them and have a business. And over the years that didn't happen because my life kind of took a different turn. And I heard a story on the radio that really resonated deep with me on using horses to help kids. And I knew at that moment that that's what my purpose was and my calling. And so I had a dream of having my own place and horses and working with kids and families and helping them through difficult times. Animals are really bonding and healing for people to connect with.
There are a lot of fun things to do at Second Chance Youth Ranch. I got Robin to fill us in a little bit.
We have a lot of programs surrounding kids and youth in the community. We work with youth groups from church, school groups that will come out. A lot of kids will come out here and do their volunteer community service hours for school credit. We've done court-ordered volunteer hours for youth that get in trouble and need to do community service. And just kids in the community that want to come out and learn about horses or participate in one of the programs that we have or events. The last couple of years we've done about 20 different community events that's open for the community to come take part in, fundraisers and concerts and things like that.
Turns out that horses aren't the only creatures on this ranch. There are also rescue dogs. Robin rescues these dogs and gives them a better lifestyle. But in addition to that, they can be used as therapy for the kids. I got a chance to talk to one of the regulars at the camp and find out some of the things that she gets to do there.
I groom and I clean out their stall, and we don't get to ride until the next session, and we just saddle and tack them up.
In addition to the activities involving the animals, Second Chance also has more to offer. There is a really nice craft room and meeting area with potential for a cafe. In the upper part of that barn, there is a music studio. But if you are more into the outdoors, then you might enjoy the bonfire and amphitheater. There really are a lot of things to do, and Robin told us what some of her plans are for the future.
That it will be self-sustainable and serving kids and families in the community, and through that, it's volunteers. We have a volunteer program. So whether you like horses and you just want to volunteer working with horses, or you like the kids and just want to volunteer with kids, or both, or gardening, or machine equipment, maintenance, things like that, there's something here for everybody.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of News and Views. Stay tuned to QCTV for all the coverage in your community that matters. And check us out online at qctv.org. Thanks for watching.